Hello, and welcome to the kickoff for Southeastern Guide Dogs Walkathon 2013. We're here in Bradenton at the Courtyard by Marriott, which is just down the road from Rossi Park, where the Walkathon will be held next spring. Well, tonight we're about to get people really energized about our biggest fundraiser of the year, Walkathon. We're getting together some teams, hoping to do a lot of fundraising between now and the spring, and really getting people excited and give them information about the project. We have the event chair that's going to speak for a little bit, tell us a little bit about Walkathon. We have one of our graduates here who also works for Southeastern Guide Dogs, Michael Jernigan, who was the first recipient of a guide dog from us through our Paws for Patriots program. So he'll be able to talk to the crowd, and actually he'll be able to talk to you as well. Well, you know, as I said, Walkathon is our biggest fundraiser of the year. All of the things that we do are provided at no charge to our recipients. It costs about $60,000 to put together a guide dog team and then take care of them for the life of the team. So we obviously have a lot of funds that we need to raise. We receive no government funding, and everything is for free to the recipients. So it's thanks to the generosity of the community that we're able to do what we do. You can go right onto our website, guidedogs.org/walkathon, all one word. All right, so with us now we have Michael Jernigan, who is a community outreach coordinator for Southeastern Guide Dogs and was the very first recipient of a guide dog through our Paws for Patriots program. Mike, how long have you been with Brittany, and tell us a little bit about your story?
I've been with Brittany for 5.5 years. On August 22nd of 2004, I lost both my eyes in a roadside bomb in Iraq. I came home. It wasn't long after I came home that one of the board members for Southeastern Guide Dogs got in contact with my family to let me know that they would be there to support me when I was ready for a guide dog. And I think from there, it's just steamrolled, and that's how Paws for Patriots came about within Southeastern.
That's wonderful. So can you tell me a little bit about what Brittany has done for you, how she's kind of changed the way that you've gone about things?
Well, Brittany has given me a lot of freedom and independence in moving around and mobility, but I think one of the biggest things that she's done is she's given me a lot of confidence, and she's become a companion for me. I went back to college. I first moved up to Washington, D.C. area. I went to a community college in Alexandria, Virginia. Then I transferred to Georgetown University, and I was there for a year, and then we moved back to my hometown of St. Petersburg, Florida, and I finished at the University of South Florida, St. Petersburg. I don't think I could have done any of that without Brittany. Her there guiding me, keeping me safe, and also helping me relieve some of the stress and anxiety that I experienced, especially in Washington, D.C., was just paramount to my success. You know, we've done 47 round-trip flights around the country. She's been with me everywhere from Yankee Stadium to Santa Monica Boulevard. You know, I don't think I could be that active if I didn't have Brittany by my side.
That's wonderful, Mike. Could you tell us a little bit about Southeastern and why you are so passionate about it? I know that you've done a lot to pay it forward for getting Brittany. So tell us a little bit about your involvement, and then now what you're doing as community outreach coordinator.
Well, I first began with Southeastern volunteering in January of 2006. I got my first dog, and I started doing a lot of fundraising and awareness presentations. With a program like Paws for Patriots that Southeastern runs, it has impacted my life so much that I just am compelled to help the program, help the school succeed, and do anything that I can. Really and truly, I give a lot to Southeastern Guide Dogs and my dog Brittany. Right now, currently, after I graduated from college, I'm at Southeastern Guide Dogs full-time, doing community outreach, doing some of the same stuff I was doing as a volunteer, some fundraising and awareness presentations, but also helping with donor procurement and donor management and a few other things here and there.
Excellent. So tonight we're here talking about Walkathon. What do you think about Walkathon? Are you excited about the 3 different ones that we're having this year? Tell us a little bit about that.
It's a little different. We've only had one a year for the last God knows how many years, but I think the 3 this year, being in Sarasota, Bradenton, and St. Petersburg, really help us expand, help our schools' awareness expand. People will recognize us better, and it gives a lot more people an opportunity to participate. Those people that lived in Sarasota, and last year we had it in St. Petersburg, might have been too far for them to drive. It's now spread out a lot more, which is a good thing for us, for our recognition, and for the people that want to participate.
All right, Mike, I know that you're passionate about helping your fellow veterans in all acts of life. Tell us a little bit about what Southeastern does and about how that program helps out vets and how you're going to outreach.
Well, there's a small number of blinded veterans. They're not that large of a number, and those that actually use guide dogs is even a much smaller number. And one of the things that we, and I say myself at Southeastern, want to let a lot of veterans know, visually impaired and blind veterans, is that we are here and we can directly impact your quality of life with a guide dog. If you're up for it, there is a little bit of responsibility, obviously caring for a living animal, but the rewards are tremendous, and the impact it can have on quality of life is really and truly beyond words.
Excellent. Well, Mike, thank you so much for taking time out of your evening tonight to talk to us. I really appreciate it.
Not a problem. Thank you.
Debbie, so I understand you are the event chair for this Walkathon. Can you tell us a little bit about what's going to happen here tonight?
Absolutely. Tonight is our team kickoff meeting, and we are so proud to have everybody attend tonight because we're so thankful for all of the time, dedication, sponsorship that everyone's been able to gather for the 2013 Bradenton Walkathon.
Great. So how can people get involved? You've mentioned some people are already involved. How can people find out about it? What can they do? How can they get ready before the Walkathon actually happens?
Well, right now we have online sign up for teams on Southeastern Guide Dog's website. You can go to sitstaygive.org and you can sign up under the Bradenton section, and you can create your own team. You can gather your neighbors and come walk with us in February, but we're really, really hoping that everybody can get together and collectively fundraise for this event, because what we do at the end of all this is that we give independence to the visually impaired, and to see how you can change someone's life by giving them a guide dog is just amazing, and you will certainly feel gratified for all the hard work that you'll do.
Excellent. So if I want to set up a team, I can go to that sitstaygive.org. What if I want to actually attend the event, and when is it, and where's it going to be, and what's going to be going on? Can my dog come with me?
Absolutely. It's going to be on Saturday, February 23rd at Rossi Park is the start. It's going to be about 10 o'clock, but there's lots of activities, so get there early and you can walk around, mix and mingle. You can bring your dog, so please do, because we love our four-legged friends. And the walk, like I said, will start at 10 o'clock, and we're going to walk along the beautiful riverfront in the Bradenton area, and we really want everybody's participation, so we hope everybody will come out. Tell your neighbors, tell your friends, invite your family, bring everybody.
And I understand that there's a raffle. That's another way to fundraise. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Absolutely. We've got a great raffle with some great prizes. There's tickets here that we can provide you. You can go out to your neighbors, you can go out to family and friends, and it's not expensive at all. And I believe the raffles are $5 each, and for $5 you can enter to win some really great prizes like iPads, a trip, all of that. So it's definitely worth entering, and like I said, the end reward is giving a visually impaired person some independence.
And I understand that the top raffle prize is $10,000 cash that you could win for a $5 raffle ticket. So that's pretty incredible. So everybody needs to come on out to Walkathon then and start fundraising right now.
Absolutely. That's the easiest thing, because everybody wants to enter to win. So that's one of the easiest things you can do. And you're right, $10,000 is no small amount to be overlooked these days.
That's right. Thank you so much, Debbie.
Well, tonight's a special evening, and I want to thank you and welcome you for coming, taking your time to help us with the 2013 Bradenton Walkathon Team Captain Party. So we're really excited to have you here. As many of you know, this is a really special year for Southeastern Guide Dogs. This is one of their largest, it actually is their largest fundraising event that they host. And this year is really special because they have 3 markets in which they're doing a walkathon. Last year alone, the St. Pete Walkathon raised $450,000. That's an amazing amount, an amazing amount. This year, with a total goal of $600,000 with the 3 walkathons. And we, as the Bradenton Walkathon team, are being challenged to raise $100,000, which I know we can handedly do. We've got great members here and our captains tonight to tell you more about the program. So I know we'll have no problems with that. During the next hour, you're going to hear about Southeastern Guide Dogs program, and you're going to really understand why you're here tonight. And I know you have a good glimpse of that picture already because you are here, but you're going to see a new insight, and we're going to hear a very captivating speaker as well that's going to pull at your heartstrings like all of the Southeastern Guide Dog stories do. The biggest thing is that tonight we're going to inspire you. We're going to ask you to reach out to friends and family, colleagues, and help us fundraise, and also come on February 23rd and walk with us, and bring your 4-legged friends, and we're going to make this one of the best walkathons. I know it. I know we're going to show what the other 2 cities, what we can do, and we're so proud to have the walkathon back here in Bradenton. Many of you may have heard my story, but I have to call out a dear friend and neighbor, Annie Brown, who has been involved with Southeastern Guide Dogs for over 10 years. She's truly an inspiration to me, and she's never ending in her spirit for Southeastern. And when she first started telling me some of the stories that actually happen at the Southeastern campus, it's pretty inspiring. If you haven't been to a graduation yet, you really need to go, because everybody warned me about bringing the tissues and all of that, and it truly is that, because at the end of the day, what you're doing, the time you're giving, the dollars that you're fundraising for, go to giving independence to a visually impaired person. And I think we take for granted how much we can see and get around, and even though we have to wear glasses, we can still see. So it's something that's really, really vital to reach out and see a graduation if you can. I was fortunate enough to, a year and a half ago, adopt my little boy, Sir Toma, and he's actually in the ambassador program, and he goes out to hospital, schools, anywhere I can take him. Actually, he's come into the office. My staff will attest that he's a welcomed, sight for sore eyes during a work day, because he gives so much love and attention, and that's what these dogs do. So a little bit about my background, but tonight we're really here again to personally thank everybody. As I mentioned, our goal is 100,000, but I'm going to challenge all of you, and I'm going to challenge myself to raise more than that this year, so that we can actually really put Bradenton on the map. There's a lot of people here that have a lot of great years in Bradenton, and we know what this city's going to do and this whole community is going to do. So I challenge all of you to rise above it, and you'll be surprised how easy it is. Annie and I last year did some fundraising for the St. Pete Walkathon, and we were in the top 10 fundraisers, along with a great group of people in our neighborhood and beyond that helped the cause. And we were able to name 3 puppies, one of which is going to be named Braden, short for Bradenton. So we're really excited about that. The other puppy that we named was Florida, because we did take our dogs to Florida Huddle and to the Florida's Governor's Conference for tourism, and we collected donations there too as well. So we do have a beautiful little puppy named Florida. So we're really excited about that as well. So before I introduce someone very special and one of our speakers tonight, I would like to thank some really hardworking people, and I would like to thank the executive committee, the planning committee, and all of our team captains that have brought people here tonight for this kickoff. So would you all please stand? Everybody that's had a hand in the planning for this walkathon, and that's probably all of you, so you can please stand. We just want to thank you very much. Thank you so much. Okay, so I get the pleasure of introducing a graduate of Southeastern Guide Dogs and now a staff member of Southeastern Guide Dogs. He's actually the community outreach coordinator. He's also the first recipient of a Paws for Patriots dog from the program. So I'd like to introduce Michael Jernigan.
My name is Michael Jernigan. I am a United States Marine that lost both of my eyes in Iraq on August 22nd, 2004. I'm actually the first U.S. service member in the global war on terror to lose both eyes. So it's go down in the record books. I had about 45% of my cranium crushed in, and my entire forehead has been replaced with an acrylic plate. You know, I had to have my right hand reconstructed, I had to have my left knee reconstructed, and I spent 16 months in hospitals and rehab facilities. I did 30 major surgeries in the first 12 months. I flatlined during 3 of them. It was a long, hard road for me to come home to and through. Soon after I was wounded, one of our board members at Southeastern contacted my mom and said, hey, we have this guide dog school down in Palmetto. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. And we had never heard of it, and my family's been in St. Petersburg since the 1920s. He said, we want to help support your son if and when he's ready for a guide dog. At the time, I was a little hesitant. I was still in a hospital bed. I still wasn't walking very well. I still was suffering from some major symptoms of a traumatic brain injury. And I decided to give it a shot. In January of 2006, we launched a program that I'm very proud of, the Paws for Patriots program at Southeastern Guide Dogs. I received my first guide dog, Kira, who I had for a few months. It turned out not to be the perfect match, but I helped found that program along with our board at Southeastern Guide Dogs, and since then we have touched the lives of 75 veterans directly and the lives of thousands of veterans through our facility therapy dogs that we have at Walter Reed, and the one we're placing right now at Camp Lejeune in North Carolina at a Marine Corps base, my home base. You know, they work with our veterans on recovering from IEDs, sniper attacks, firefights, things like that. It's amazing that playing fetch with a dog can actually help you relearn how to walk, how to use prosthetic arms, how to walk on prosthetic limbs, how to gain your balance back. My dog Brittany, I've had, I think I said 5.5 years. I got her in March 28th of 2007. At the time, I was living in Washington, D.C. I got out of the Marine Corps at the end of December at 2005, and I moved home to St. Petersburg, Florida. And I took a vacation that I call 2006, and it was a very long year, a very hard year. I dealt with a lot of demons in that year, and I decided towards the end of 2006, I said, I got to get my life straight. I got to go back to college. I got to do something. I have no idea what I want to do. College sounds like a great place to figure that out. So I picked an area. I said, well, why don't I go to Washington, D.C.? That sounds like a bright idea. I can't see. That's marvelous. So I took off to D.C. I had an apartment in Alexandria, and it was a couple of months later I got Brittany. I will tell you, she has impacted my life in ways that are immeasurable, in ways that words can't even describe. I started back to school at Northern Virginia Community College in Alexandria, Virginia, right? 28 years old, in college with a bunch of 18 and 19-year-old kids, because at that point, at 28, still young, yet so much more advanced with some of the stuff that I experienced. It was stressful, to say the least. Without Brittany there, I don't know if I could have gotten through it. I don't know if I could have made it to my classroom. She actually remembered where my classrooms were before I could figure them out, which was great. We'd just hit the front door. I'd let her take over. She'd take me right to class. It was wonderful. You know, I got a wild hair and said, I'm going to go to Georgetown University. I barely graduated from high school at St. Petersburg High School. Literally. There was a conversation between my mom and the principal, and it went like this. Well, if Michael just shows up to graduation, we'll see how his final grades came in, and if he could graduate or not. And then barely graduating from high school, I never even took the SATs. You know, I went to St. Petersburg Junior College, a 2-year school, spent 4.5 years there. Left with a 1.16 GPA. There's a reason I joined the Marine Corps. And I didn't join the Air Wing. I didn't go into the intelligence community. I went into the infantry because triggers are easy to figure out. So getting an idea to go to Georgetown was kind of crazy. But I pulled good grades in MVCC. Turns out I wasn't a rock. I'm not an idiot, which was a surprise to a lot of people I know. But I got into Georgetown, got a letter of recommendation, got great grades, went to Georgetown. Was only there for a year. Brittany, again, was extremely instrumental at Georgetown University. That's a big campus in Washington, D.C. You know, it's a campus that was built in the 18th century. Some of the buildings aren't even ADA compliant. They don't even have the Braille labels on the doors to tell you what classroom you're at. And I was told that I wasn't going to get any. So I left Georgetown, moved back to St. Petersburg, Florida with my wife and my stepson. My wife and I just graduated from the University of South Florida in St. Petersburg back in May. Thank you. I got a history degree. She got a degree in psychology, and our marriage works. So I've been on 47 round-trip flights around this country with my dog. She's been everywhere from Yankee Stadium, a Rays game at Yankee Stadium, to Santa Monica Boulevard. She's not a big fan of Caesar's Palace, although I am. She has been there with me. She's not only given me a lot of freedom and independence, she's not only helped me be safe when I'm out on the streets, when I'm out in airports, when I'm out God knows where I wind up. She's been there at the end of my left hand, a steady stream of confidence running up the leash, running up that harness into me, allowing me to take charge of my life and get back on the road and get back and do what I needed to do. She helped me find a purpose in life. Not only that, but she's become a companion. I can't imagine my life without her now. I really can't. We just went to Atlanta back in June for a conference. I was by myself, but I wasn't truly by myself. I had Brittany with me, so I'm never alone. I'm never alone. She's right there. When I get stressed out, when I get anxious, which unfortunately is happening more than it probably should, but it is what it is, I just lean down, pet the dog. My blood pressure drops. My heart rate drops. I do well. It's a great trick if you got high blood pressure before you go into the doctor. Just pet your dog. You fool them every time. Southeastern Guide Dogs has impacted my life, like I said, in an immeasurable way. What you guys are doing with Walkathon, raising money for Walkathon, if we when we raise $600,000, that's 10 guide dog teams. 10. One more and we run out of fingers. That's 10 people that can have a life like I've been able to have. That's 10 people that might have been sitting in a hospital bed in Bethesda, Maryland, thinking their life was over. They can have a second chance. They can find a purpose and can retake their life, take the reins and move forward. You guys are a big part of that. I'm a big part of that. We all in this room are here for one reason, and that's Southeastern Guide Dogs. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being willing to donate your time and effort. Thank you for making a difference in my life. Because without my community and people like yourselves, I wouldn't be where I am today. So, thank you very much. Come on, bro.
I don't know who slotted me behind Mike. I don't know if that's necessarily fair. Tough act to follow. Well, good evening. My name is Andy Kramer. I'm the Director of Development for Southeastern Guide Dog. I too want to thank you for coming tonight. Obviously, we have important veteran-related programs that does give people like Mike a second chance. We have other programs, obviously, for the visually impaired. That's our core mission. Southeastern Guide Dog is celebrating its 30th year anniversary this year. Many people in Bradenton and Sarasota and the likes don't even know where Palmetto is. They think it might be up near the Georgia line, but we're just up the road. We've been here 30 years and really playing a huge part in people's lives. I want to thank you for helping, because like Mike said, you're going to be touching the lives of 10 people, and many people, but in a very direct way in providing dogs to 10 people. They're $60,000 a piece. All of our donations come from the generosity of individuals and businesses, foundations that help us fund about a $5.5 million annual budget. So Mike mentioned 10 people. I think I spoke about a month ago to a group of you, and I had just come from a graduation where when we have students come to our campus who have been accepted to receive a guide dog, they're on our campus or they're with us for 26 consecutive days. The dogs are all packaged, trained, and ready to roll. Who isn't are the people who are going to be handling them. And so they're with us for 26 days with the trainers, and they're learning how to work with their dog and put their trust in their dog. Mike went through the program about 5 years ago. Today, I was in Sarasota, where we have another facility, and those 9 students were practicing with their dogs in the streets in Sarasota. They've been with us for about 2.5 weeks right now, and the first week that they're with us, they are on our campus. They're working with their dogs. It's very safe and secure. We can kind of put the obstacles in front of them to help the training. And then in week 2, they come to Bradenton, and then in week 3, they go to Sarasota. And I was with them today in Sarasota, and I was able to witness people like Mike 5 years ago taking the first step with their dog. And I'll tell you, it was really neat to talk to people who were taking this courageous step for the first time and just feeling the independence and the freedom and the life that they were going to be able to have because of one of the Southeastern guide dogs. It was really neat, really. I wish you could have been there to see it, but I think you could feel it and see it through Mike's presentation this evening. So I will leave it at that, and thank you again for being here. We're looking forward to a fabulous event in February, and I can't thank you enough for being part of the team. Thank you.
Okay, so if anybody has any questions, Nina, would you stand up? This fine young lady will answer any of your questions. We hope you ask, because actually, you know, as Jim mentioned and we talked about before, it's okay to be competitive with this. We really want Bradenton to shine. So you do want to track your funding, and if people mail in donations, you know, just go to the offline page and enter what you think they're going to be doing. This way here, when they get it in accounting, they can transpose that over to your account. So let's see, hands. How many are going to go and create a team page tonight when they get home? Yay, all right. If you don't want to create a page, then just join a team, please. The more the merrier. You'll find out how easy it is, and I think we can all be creative and have a great time with this. Thank you again for coming tonight. I do want to just remind everybody on the back table there are interest cards and your toolkit packet over where Annie is. So please take your packet. If you need a couple of them, take them. But thank you again for coming tonight. We look forward to a great event. Thank you.